I'm getting loops. Just let me know if the audio and all that stuff is good. So this is the new streamer, and I'm not sure how it's gonna go. Hey Greg, what is going on with this face camera? It's never been this weird. Hey, maximum video lights. Yeah, I just not happy with that at all. I don't know what's going on there. I haven't changed. That's the part that I haven't changed, but it's the part that seems the most changed, which doesn't make any sense. And why is it so choppy? Is that just my output here, or is that also on the stream? Let's see. So if I full screen that, I have to do something. See, the playback on my screen here is bad, but I think on the stream it looks kind of okay. So this is the new mini ITX streamer. It's the first time I'm streaming on it. Let me pull up lots of different things. Yeah, but what's going wrong with? See, this camera I've used as a face cam before, and I was happy with the skin tones and stuff, and now it just looks awful. But I'll just have to make do. So where's the? Can I? Can I just make a Discord view? I think that's probably the best thing. I've never had issues with this before, but so if I get rid of this and then okay. I don't know why that's kind of an odd size, because literally the window on my output here is literally the same size as the Firefox I just got rid of, but such is life. Okay, before I go insane, I'll have to assign that in Stream Deck as well. How do we do that? Yeah, lots of new things. New Stream Deck, new version of the Stream Deck software. So we want a scene, and we want to call it Discord, and we want to go to the Discord scene. Okay, so now if I do like, see, they're the same size, but it came up when I originally added it. It came up a different size. So this is now down below my feet, and I don't have a camera set up for it. But believe me, that this is the rig that I'm streaming on. So I was doing some memory testing. I got it stable at like 6600 on like a super ancient kit of MDI, so I'm kind of happy with that. Yeah, it's just more memory testing. So this was the early stages of trying to get it into the case, because it's like a 3.5 liter case. It's the smallest. I don't know. At the time I bought it, it was the smallest ITX case available, like readily available, without like something totally custom. So it's Flex ATX. The bottom of the window gets chopped off. Okay, anyway. Oh. What's this? Hold on. Something is being scaled a bit weirdly here. Can I? Can't say I've come across this issue before. How do I don't really understand what is even going on here with my OBS. Okay. Oh, see that. like, okay. Man. Okay. I don't really understand any of this. Okay, let's minimize everything. No, that was maximized. Alright, so all those windows are gone. Why is there a fucking dividing line on my desktop? No, okay, now my Explorer died. Hardest part of benching is the non-benching part. Okay, let's restart Explorer. Okay, so now the weird line is gone. Now re-maximize my OBS. Hey, Paul. Okay, so now this is OBS on its own. So here's my face cam correctly aligned again. Now we're in the Discord view, so now let's bring back Discord. Okay. We're still missing the bottom of it though, which I don't really okay. Why is it so oddly like high? It's not the normal aspect. I don't understand why it's a different aspect ratio to like every other window. See how it's like, I don't know, whatever. Okay, so this is the case. That was the previous motherboard that was in there. Then, so I want to get as many capture cards in there as possible. The first attempt was with this thermal take riser card, because this is where the GPU would go. Like this case supports a dual slot GPU behind the motherboard essentially, but it was too short, so I had to get another riser card eventually. So this is a quad HDMI Blackmagic, which is what I'm using right now. So then I made a rude joke about a missing inch. So I got a longer riser cable, and then I also didn't have the right low profile cooler. Like I bought a low profile cooler from China that claimed to be 37 millimeters, and it wasn't. It was thicker than that. It was like 37 millimeters without the fan, which doesn't make any, like, you're never going to be able to like passively cool, right? So like, why give the size of it without the fan? So then I got this thing, which is 37, which just fits under the case panel, the side panel of the case. So then finally I at least had a fit. Like I couldn't get the panels on or anything because of all the power supply cables and stuff, but at least I had like a fit of the board into the actual case, which is nice. And then the next thing was, can you see how probably further up, where's, I had a picture of the board somewhere, right? Yeah. So I originally had the M.2, like I'll have to specify because I'm gonna have several different types of M.2. The M.2 OS drive, I had it under this front M.2, the CPU M.2 slot, right? Because that's usually where you put it, because there's a nice heatsink and a little fan there and everything. But then I thought a little bit longer, and I was like, I want an M.2 capture card. I want to fill this board with as many capture cards as possible. So it's got one 16x slot. I was thinking about bifurcating the slot, because most capture cards are actually electrically only 4x or 8x PCIe. But I just physically don't have the space in the case, so I'm gonna use the 16x for only quote unquote one quad HDMI capture card. But then the board has two M.2s, so I'm gonna use the front M.2 for a dual HDMI M.2 capture card, and then I using the back slot for the actual OS drive. So I would like to, maybe in the absolute ideal world, I would bifurcate the PCIe, use some of those lanes for the OS drive, or maybe get like some really janky ass SATA to M.2 adapter and put the OS drive on there because I don't care how fast or slow it is. Then have two M.2 drives for two dual HDMI capture cards. Well, actually, I could get quad SDI capture cards. So then I would have, yeah. If I would use a SATA adapter for the drive, then I would have two M.2s for two quad cards. And if I somehow was able to Dremel the case or something and fit a bifurcation board in to then have bifurcate the 16x slot into two 8x slots and have two quad cards there, I would have the world's smallest 16 capture card rig. And I think it's possible. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but it's just a little bit overly ambitious. So I'll aim for 6 internal capture cards, a dual and a quad, a dual M.2 and a quad PCIe for now, and I'll add as needed USB-C capture cards externally. But that's already kind of like pretty heat dense and stuff. So this is where the NVMe ended up in the back slot, which is, I'm sure it's going to die really early or something because the spacing and the cooling and everything there is terrible. But such is life. And then I started to sort of do some cable management, which I hate cable management. I hate building dailies to begin with. Enjoy your morning coffee, by the way, Greg. I just hate anything to do with dailies, but in this case, it was just unavoidable to have to sort of cable manage in order to actually fit everything in and close the side panels. So yeah, so this was the card with the new riser cables fitted, and sort of an initial look at how tight of a squeeze it was going to be with all the power supply is non-modular because it's so small it wouldn't have space for all the modular connectors. It's actually a nice power supply. It's just modular power supplies don't really exist in that form factor, which then means you're either going to cut off the unused cables or have to cable manage them, and I wasn't prepared yet to just cut off the cables, so I've now cable managed them. But it's a bit tricky because you can see that there's like the fan of the capture card. You don't want cables getting into that, so that's not ideal. There's a second slot here, so the board has internal USB-C, which I would have ordinarily led that header out via the second, because the capture card is only a one slotter, via the second empty I/O slot or whatever you call it. I would have at least let the USB-C out, so I have more USB-Cs without daisy chaining for external capture cards. But now that there's going to be a dual M.2, that has to, like, the HDMIs are fed out via ribbon cables, because obviously you can't, there's no point in putting a full-sized HDMI on an M.2 card. It makes no sense. It's like, it's a ribbon cable which then leads out into an IO shield type thingy. So that's why I need the second one empty for now. Do I have the picture of me actually cable managing things? Oh, maybe not. Was that the OCN server? You're gonna see all of our OCN secrets here. Oh god, no, that would be going back so far. Yeah, but I eventually just got a load of cable ties out and actually, hold on, let me go, is the browser, okay, let's bring the browser back up to where Discord is. And if I now look through the pictures, I sent them to Matt, that's where I went. Yeah, so the final fit was like, you can see the bulge. It's actually a bad picture, but you know, you can see the bulge of, anyway. So that's my streaming rig. But the one thing I'll say is down here, right, you can tell how tiny, if you compare it to the USB slots, the USB ports, you can tell how small the outlet part of the power supply is. And that means, so it's a 500 watt power supply, and it's not really strange, but it kind of has to have the cooling capacity if it were to also run an actual GPU and stuff and actually go close to the 500 or 550 watt rating. So by default, it's got a pretty whiny kind of 40 millimeter fan in it. And I just can't imagine myself streaming. Like, I'm sort of putting up with it now, but what I'll have to do is, I've seen mods online of people taking out the stock fan, and Noctua makes a 40 mil. Like, because you can't change, like on a power supply, you can't sort of change the fan curve. You should be able to, but it just sort of like, it defaults to a high level, and then if it really gets hot or whatever, it goes higher, but it never sort of like goes low. So you kind of just have to swap a noisy fan for a less noisy fan. Um, so yeah, I really have to mod that. The other thing is, because it's such a small case, I could at least like have it like a meter further away from me, because actually now, because I was able to just put it in the exact spot underneath the table where I wanted, in terms of being close to all the camera cables. All the cable runs are insanely short now, so if I wanted to just have every cable be a meter longer, but just put it a meter further away from me, inverse square law and all that, that'll help. But I have to. It's just whiny. It's just, and it's not the CPU fan. The M.2 fan is disconnected, so the only fans. So the CPU fan is pretty quiet. I could still probably tune the profile on that, but it's really the capture card fan and the PSU fan that are just so high pitched. Okay, what are we doing? So it's probably the best way of explaining things. Um, Let me. Oh no, OBS, you're bugging out. So there's a stage it's under MISC. So it's MISC stage 4. So Team Cup, right? MISC stage 4, 5005 CPU limit, AMD processors only, DDR2, 4, and 5, right? So you can already kind of imagine, like, Pipe Prime, it loves like cache and stuff, so DDR4 would be some sort of X3D variant, DDR5 will be some sort of X3D variant, but then DDR2 is what I'm attempting to run right now. So, what would be the absolute. You should be able to hear me now. Okay, so I don't know why that audio input was missing. Anyway, what I was saying was, what you want is the the best, like, IPC CPU, which I don't know if PyPrime, if there's really any instruction sets that are important to it around the DDR2, DDR3 era. But you want the best IPC. Like, every chip does 5G, right? Well, not AM2 AM2 minus. You'd have to have AM2 plus or higher. So like 940 Black Edition or better. But between 940 Black Edition and like Thuban, 1090T and 1100T, all of them will do the 5G, so that's not an issue. But you want a good IMC, right? And good IPC. But the thing about that is, check out how many sticks I have in the system. like 4 GB sticks. So the bench needs 4.1 gigabytes. That's what's allocated. It says it right here in this window. Right here. So 2x2 is not good enough, right? Like you're gonna have to run like 3 sticks of 2 GB, which is really odd because it's unbalanced. 4x1 isn't enough either, right? Or you're gonna have to run 4x2 or 2x4. And I happen to have I don't know how, but I happen to have 4 GB sticks of DDR2, and they do post in this board, believe it or not. So I'm definitely trying that, maybe even tonight. But right now I found like some solid 2 GB kits, and I'm running with that for now. And yeah, obviously that will limit RAM clocks, which then begs the question of, does IMC even matter? Maybe every IMC is good enough to max out this weird 4-stick config, right? And then board selection, right? Typically my go-to board for DDR2 is the Gigabyte 790X UD4P. I have 4 of them sitting in the corner of the room. The big challenge with it is RAM compatibility and also stock like cleared CMOS VDIM. So this board defaults to 1.9 VDIM with a little bit of overshoot. Okay, I'll have to just put the chat somewhere else. This is better. 1.9 VDIM with overshoot. The Gigabyte board is 1.8 with no overshoot, and that just stops a lot of sticks from posting. So I have a stick, like a ballistics tracer stick, that I have a sticker on saying this is the one you post this board with. So I'll post with that stick and then set a higher VDIM and then throw other sticks in. But even using that trick, I wasn't able to reliably post 4 sticks, whereas I was on this board. And I don't have any other AM2 Plus boards on hand. I'm tempted to get like an Asus. I feel like that would go well, but this DFI is okay. Good morning, Sebi. The only issue was, so it has absolutely no unofficial or official Thuban support, so I couldn't put my 1100Ts or 1090Ts in there. Not only that, it's on the BIOS I have on there right now, the Deneb C3 stepping support is really dodgy. So I had a 975 Black Edition in there, and it just couldn't change P states above 4x multi, which is obviously not ideal. So I played around a bit, like flashing the BIOS on this board is I've spent hours on it before and not gotten anywhere. So I'm sure I'm doing something really dumb wrong, but I'm just not gonna spend any time on it right now. So that's why I have the 720 Black Edition in there, which shouldn't matter. I mean, I obviously I have Callisto. So in terms of chips that would broadly speaking be sort of eligible for this stage, you don't want a single core that will probably tank efficiency on a Win 7. So you would talk like dual, tri, and quad, and 6 cores. So sort of starting at the 550 Black Edition. So that's AM3, right? But there's AM2 Plus as well. So 940 Black Edition, 550 Black Edition. That would be sort of the absolute lowest end. Then 720 Black Edition. Then the likes of 955 and 965 Black Editions are sort of what's possible. And then the stuff that I would be keen to try but just doesn't work very well on this BIOS on this board right now would be 975 Black Edition, Thuban 1090T, 1055T, 1100T. Actually, probably even the 955 and 965 would have the same issue. I threw a 955 in earlier and had the same multiplier issue. So saying all that, I did hear from someone that the comp background has been put up. So before I forget about that, I'll just set that. Anyone else in chat planning on running this stage, or maybe even this particular DDR2 sub? Let's see. Are they telling lies or is it really up? Okay, Team Cup. MG. Oh, it's probably in the channel. Let's see. Maybe it's in the channel. The link, if anything, the link has been removed. Okay, I see it. Beautiful. That's kind of a cool background, very stylish. Okay. Eject. And the other fun part with this board is it doesn't have USB 3. Everything's USB 2.0. So it's very like, if you ever want to install something or whatever, copy something over, like I had to put the new Benchmade 13.5 manual install on here for it to work, and that was quite a big copy job. Beautiful. So I have my first score. Let me put it into the team spreadsheet. Okay, hold on. We want this rearranged. For style points, I'll put the motherboard tab in there, saying I'm, so cool. I'm running a rare LAN party. Okay. And let me keep notes as well. That's really important for a big efficiency stage like this. So, Team Cup Prime. Well, my internet seems slow. Okay, 720p BE. So that was 17 times 200 at the 800 strap, and it defaulted to 555. And then 8x CPU North Bridge, and that was 219 first step. I usually do the first two steps because it's such a long bench. I don't note down the other ones. I just either X out after the first two or finish it and save the screenshot. So that's a valid screenshot right there. Okay. And I'm thinking that vid is like the real vCore. So I need to raise that for sure for a single core bench. Yeah, let me try and catch up with chat. Can I? Yeah, Paul, but people get a little bit too far into the weeds with this stuff, right? The AM, like people are like, oh man, if you want to get DDR2 global first, you got to use Nanya 1 gigabit. That is on the Intel DDR2 IMC. The AMD DDR2 IMC is a totally different beast. So probably both in terms of what I sees it even likes, and in terms of how good it is, right? So I'm scared to even try the 1066 strap, for example. Let me first yeet up the volts a little bit. So, oh, it didn't add. Okay, so we'll go plus 200, and then we'll go 10 on the North Bridge. So 17 was what passed. We'll go a flat 18. We'll see how that goes. You have a D9 mixed with D9, but like again, it's just so different. Like I said, I have 4 boards of one SKU, and they couldn't even post like 4 sticks in any combination. Okay. X3D is very overpriced. Like Aussie dollars, like $450. It would be like similar, like Canadian. Mark has land parties in question condition. Yeah, I have like 15 939 land parties, and probably only 5 of them actually work. EVGI 690i. That is old school. Yeah, the old land party profiles thing is like super badass. It's like, I think it's at least 3 lines. So it's actually really clever. It's a bit annoying because if you just want a short profile name, then you're just entering it all the time just to save the bloody thing. But if you actually want to make your profile names descriptive, it can be like, first line, Team Cup 2025. Second line, 720 Black Edition. Third line, 4 by 2 gigabyte. It's for its age. It's really like clever. Let's make sure that our clocks really apply the way that we are expecting them to apply. I think I still need to disable some devices. I was having trouble posting earlier, so I started a new profile, so it's like still got the LAN controller on and stuff, potentially. Yeah, so we need, is this still going to our results folder? Indeed it is, so we'll just compare. Man, I'm tired. Like I'm like struggling to read this writing, but that's okay. I can zoom in. Okay. So we did, yeah. So we're a full multi up. We should potentially push HD as well. If that's really low, that can impact the score. Same RAM divider, but we're also up 200 on the North Bridge, I think. Oh, 400. Okay, so that's, yeah, so that's like whatever, 200 on the CPU and 400 on the North Bridge. That's certainly worth doing, maybe not a full run on, but like just giving it a run. So for whatever reason, I didn't sort of fully believe when the multi was stuck, so I did quite a bit of testing on the stuck multi chip, and I better start a timer in case it like hangs or whatever. So the other IMC did like 9 something on the RAM, so I don't believe this platform lets you lower the BCLK below 200, so you don't have that option of going the 1066 strap and then dropping. So I'll have to go 800 strap and go up a bit and just see. I don't think I have high capacity sticks. For whatever reason, 2 gigabyte sticks are super popular in Australia. Like when I was actually trying to buy benching sticks, I would constantly come up with 2 gigabyte sticks. So I have a lot, like G-Skill and stuff like that, and Corsair. I should show the sticks. Okay. So when I stole some RAM trays from G-Skill, I finally had enough RAM trays to put all of my DDR1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 into trays, or the vast majority of it. So here's my DDR2 tray, which is obviously not fully full now, that I have four sticks in the rig and some other sticks pulled out. Now, can I get the thing off? So broadly speaking, we've got our ballistics over here, your actual benching sticks, and then some random ass OCZ and stuff that isn't very good. And here's the magical 4 gigabyte OCZ. I don't know if it's gonna be able to compete with 4 sticks of 2, but I'm just gonna try, because this is like the one time in like 20 years that 4 gigabyte DDR2 sticks may be benching relevant. So just the regular, super normal DDR2 OCZ heatsink, but then the rating is PC60 400. You divide by 8, right? So that's 800 544 at 1.8. I don't know what IC that would be. That seems like a very like low. Okay. Okay, let's go to the effort and actually. How close can I go? There you go. Isn't that crazy? Has anyone ever heard of 4 GB? Like, I mean, server, yeah. I'd imagine you'd be able to scare up some ECC that's 4 GB, but like, enthusiast RAM that's 4 GB. One stick, unfortunately, is dead, or it doesn't post. The other three did post on this board. Okay, so what's our first loop? We just want to make sure that it's not slower. So the loop is 20 seconds. It's 10% slower, faster. So it was, the last one was 219. Now we're at 200 flat. Okay, let's catch up on chat. Yeah, I really like the wallpaper. I do too. Phenom 950, 9500. Yeah. So you know there was 2 micro architectures on. Oh, we have like whatever 6-minute run or whatever ahead of us. So let's have a little history lesson of AM2 and AM2 Plus and stuff. So AM2 is like the 6400 plus and all that stuff. That's a different microarchitecture to the rest of it. So Agena is the original AM2 plus. K8 is AM2 like AM2 minus basically. Agena is like kind of K9, right? Like it's like it's an in-between microarchitecture. And then like DNAB is K10. So the 940 Black Edition is an AM2 plus chip. It won't work in a DDR3 board. And it's the DDR3 microarchitecture, but it's the C2 stepping, which clocks way worse. Like a super good 940 Black Edition will do like 6.2 through 1M. That's like a binning reject for C3 stepping. But you can find like 955 Black Editions and 9665 Black Editions that are C2 stepping. Like maybe every 10th one, something like that. And I'm always a little sad when that happens. Like when I buy like a 10 chip batch like from AliExpress, and 1 or 2 of them are just the absolute like shit bin C2 stepping. Like you're talking like 6G, 6.1 through 1M, 6.5 valid, at most like 6.4, 6.5 valid. Whereas like a good C3 stepping will be like 6.9 through 1M, 7.1 valid. Yeah, but that Agena stuff is criminally underbenched. It's so, yeah, and I don't know how you can even sort of incorporate it into like even for Team Cup. It's hard to kind of even construct a stage for it unless you just say Agena core, which, you know, it's obviously that's kind of forcing the issue. Okay, let's go 1M. Where is 1M? See if I now go, where's me hardware filters? Even if I restricted by AM2 plus and first places, check out that gap. You see the difference between DNAB architecture and everything else, right? Both in terms of clock and in terms of performance. So 399 for the second. So it's 20 seconds 20 seconds a step, and there's 10 steps total. So 200. We should be under 1,000 seconds now. Which, what does that convert to? 1,000 seconds divided by 16 minutes. So the Intel record is like 9 minutes and something. To be at 16 minutes, like all ambient on a terrible IMC and just no optimization, is actually kind of not bad. I mean, it's certainly not good, but it's like, it's something. Hardware filter. Man, why is this scroll so out of control? Not motherboard. Memory type DDR2. Yeah, 905. But then like GTX. Is this an AMD result? No, everything's Core 2 Duo. There are no results, right? Isn't that sort of the thing? Like, I think I looked at it before and there was literally no results. Yeah. That's why it's so hard. I have to sort of wait for other scores to go up in this comp, which is not ideal. Yeah, that whining of that fan is super annoying. It's okay. I'll just do one. I'll find a way to dampen it somehow. Yeah, in terms of what I'm going to be running, how can I? Yeah, I'm obviously running Godavari. I mean, there's so few people who even dare to. Sorry, this is supposed to be the view. There's so few people who even dare to like attempt APU benching. So I'm running Godavari. Just making sure the chat is visible. Okay. W prime. I mean, I have hardware. It's just that stage just feels like a total bottomless pit, right? Like it really, really does. I mean, socket A. I don't have any of the like pencil modded chips or anything, so I don't know. Oh, I actually do. Max Beach sent me some. Yeah, at a push. I mean, AIM2, I have a love-hate relationship with. I have lots of chips and lots of boards, but I've never found a good binning method or even a good bin of chips. So, yeah, I'd be doing A if anything. The Geekbench, yeah, I think I'm doing the same. Oh, it's been changed, has it? 246. Actually, I'm not doing this. Someone else has what do you call it? Thankfully, someone else has put up their hand for the 3000G. 7-zip. That's where I'm doing the Sempron. So what's that? 4 out of 5 AMD stages. That's gonna be fun. Well, it's only 4 stages. 3 out of 4, most likely. It's officially starting in 3 seconds. Let's watch the countdown. That is some interesting timing. Now it should give me the countdown for how long is left, right? Come on, 61 days. Okay, here we go. Let's get benching. Time's a-wasting. Okay, single core I'll try to avoid. Geekbench multi, what was that? Oh, I'm doing the 2066 sub for that. CPU profile max, I believe I'm in the clear there. Geekbench 3 single. Yeah, yeah, that's fine. Because it enforces a hardware choice. It doesn't. We're not. They're not claiming that core count matters for a single threaded bench. It's just it enforces a hardware choice. I like it. I'd look at the spreadsheet. What? Weg has a spreadsheet? News to me. Um, okay, yeah. So here, I mean, I love. Oh, I might be doing the LGA 2011 there actually. Um, two processor cores. I mean, I have an OK 7350K, but I really hope I don't have to contend with that. I'm doing it too many stages. I should probably add. Let's see. Not that. What if I can crop out all of this? Because all I want is just a run window. You won't be able to see the numbers, I guess, but at least you see that something's moving. Okay, Vantage Crossfire. I have all the cards, but I believe other people are doing this. 01. I'm gonna be two-potting this for sure. I'll have to see what I do for chips. I'm sort of spoiled for choice. I have so many 7G chips, but I don't necessarily want to risk my absolute best chip. So I'm hoping to maybe use my second best 965 or my second best 955. And in terms of video card, I think I have 6 HD 4850s, so I'm hoping to sort of bin through those. So that's a big 3D stage. Average 5 edition 10. I'm looking for one of those. Sell me yours. Yeah, I have an SoC champion, so it's not too bad. Solar Bay is just like all modern cars. I obviously don't have that. Fire Strike APU. Sadly, FM2 is uncompetitive. FM2 Plus just has so much better of an iGPU. So it's a 3 sub stage. So it'll be FM2 Plus, which whoever ends up finding the best chip in the 1080p stage essentially will just run this on FM2 Plus iGPU unless something dies. AM4 5700G, right? AM5 8700G. Yeah, I don't have the hardware for this, but I feel like I'll be drafted in anyway somehow. I don't know how. Okay, NVIDIA GPUs? Performance, yeah, who cares? I believe I'm sort of chalked down. So it's by series, no 4000, 5000, so it's SLI is allowed. But it doesn't. The only thing here is it doesn't give a maximum number of cards. So someone could SLI like, well, it's weird that they mention SLI at all because it's a compute bench. So like they should really be calling that multi GPU because you don't need a bridge, right, to run multi GPU on either AMD or NVIDIA cards in Cinebench 2024 specifically, or in GPU Pi. So if we're just assuming that 2 is the maximum number of cards, then I would try to run this all out on 1080 Ti Strixes. If it's like as many cards as you can scare up, then I'm out. And we have a score. So the last one was 1158. So this is 1051.340. So let's save that. And our vid should be higher now. Like we should actually have a higher set vCore now. Memory tab. Oh no. Motherboard tab. Memory tab. And CPU tab. Save it. And let's just straight away attempt to please state up. 18 and a half, 19, let's go 20. Yeah, okay, so now with the 1.5, quite a lot of droop it feels like, because it was like stock, it was like 1.33 and then I did a plus 200 and now it's showing 1.504. Okay, so now like a flat 4G, that'll be nice. 5G we won't be able to do ambient, like the actual clock limit, but that's fine. I don't mind splashing a little bit of LN2 at it. Yeah, okay, that's a decent extra amount. And after that, I'll push the RAM a little bit. It'll probably be a short stream. I mean, the cherries popped on Team Cup now. Oh, have I set the background wrong? Hold on, personalize. It's like oof. It's weird, eh? Yeah, this is what I should be setting for, like, to totally avoid any pulling of scores because of weirdly stretched backgrounds. This is what I should be setting. Which doesn't look as pretty, but better to be safe than sorry. So yeah, this was just like a catch. I mean, I'm talking about it in the like past tense as if it's already over, but the intentions behind this stream were to test the new stream rig, to just sort of like ring in the new Team Cup, and that's kind of it. I mean, we have like sort of a working setup now. I definitely have to try the 4 gig sticks, but seems very core focused. Like the CPU Northbridge scaling I'm seeing isn't fantastic. The RAM scaling I'm seeing isn't fantastic. It's just like all core so far. Okay, Heaven Basic. There was some weird discrepancy about this. At some point was an SLI stage, but now it looks like a single card stage. And it's GeForce 245 series, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I mean, 5 series is kind of okay, I guess. Night Raid is all, yeah. I mean, if the team was short a 980, like a 980 or something, I could fill in there, but yeah, not my cup of tea. And last but not least, miscellaneous, which I think I'm doing a lot of stages in. Physics Intel only. I may do the 1155. So the 4790K, 4770K sub for this. I don't really have a working 1200 board anymore. There's certainly better LGA 1700 benchers in the team. So the scaling is kind of slowing down. Well, but I did fuck around with the background. Maybe that's why the first loop is slow. But yeah, it's only quote unquote only picked up 6 seconds there. I may actually just X out of it and give it like 100 megahertz more or something. And if I want to be really fancy, I can just clock up only that one individual core, right? Boom. And now I go like that. Maybe even 4.2. Let's try 4.2. Sweet. Oh, okay. That was maybe a little bit much. We'll give CPU Northbridge an extra 2 multi, I guess. And we'll do a 4-1 run then. It'll up HD link as well. Give CPU Northbridge a little bit. Be tempted to. Okay, 25 millivolts more there. Yeah, so 2 sticks of G-Skill, 2 sticks of Kingston. The Kingstons are like, must be like Nanya or Power Chip or something. Like they're like spec'd for 2.3, which is very high. I can't remember what the G-Skills want. It's obviously not like, whatever it is, it's not an ideal mix. Like 2 sticks are always going to want lower volts than the other 2 sticks, I feel like. Oh, that was a quick initializing driver there. I spoke too soon. Damn it, I want to start my run. I'll wait for it to load. Always around the time you think it might have crashed, it starts to load. There you go. Okay, let's synchronous clock. So we've got our extra 25 millivolts there. We go 4-1. 4-1 has set. We'll just check the Northbridge. It is 400 more. Sweet. For whatever reason, DDR2 is always the generation of DDR that I'm least able to convert, like effective to real clocks. Like when I see DDR3 1400, I'm like, yeah, of course that's 2800. But when I see DDR2 400, I'm like, is that really 400? That's really shit. But it's 800, which is still kind of shit, but it's like somewhat more respectable. I'll have to see if it's good gain. These runs are so long. It's that conundrum of how, how many runs do you save when a run is bloody 10 minutes long? Okay, back to the run through all the stages again. Physics, yeah, I don't know about that. GPU Pi dual GPU. Oh yeah, I got to run 295x2 there. Y crunch. Oh, this is all Skylake chips, right? Or yeah, this is like, yeah, I don't I think I'm running the quad core there, but yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. And of course, this stage I'm currently benching. Have there been any subs? Can I be the first sub? Maybe I need to quickly copy across. I could aim to be the first and last sub of the comp. Wouldn't that be something? Recognize the drive, please. No. It's too busy pipe priming. Alright, this was a bad idea. Let's try a different stick. Because that's an exFAT stick. It's a little bit harder for Windows 7 to recognize. Oh no, Explorer is just flat out just dead. Okay, you know what? May as well give the North Bridge a tiny bit more. Maybe give the RAM a tiny bit more. Go like 205 B clock, 40 on the not 40x but 20x on the CPU. Let's go 205 and 13, even though I don't like the number 13. Yeah, we'll struggle through. Come on. Post please. Boot please. Okay, I better get my rig pick in order. Don't want to fail at that hurdle, such as it is. I think I'd already uploaded it, so I just need to get it off my cloud provider. Oh no, it's boot looping. Ouch. Okay. Well, that's super unfortunate. Okay, repick is downloaded. Okay, I might drop the Super North Bridge again. That's probably the safest thing to lower. I don't know. Okay, so this is, what is it, 720p, and I've got to resize it. Percentage. Oh, it was the North Bridge. Interesting. So this chip must have just a weak North Bridge. Super interesting, actually. Okay, let's copy that thing across, which is this thing. Eject. And now we just have a quick look at the clocks while CPUZ is loading. I may as well sub. Team Cup, miscellaneous, pipe prime. Data file is required. That's not a problem. I have it here. Okay, so that's loaded up. K10. It doesn't like to have CPUZ open, I think. Is that cooling? What is it? Water chilled. What else is there? DDR2 memory. Air custom. Okay, 10 stat. So you have to open it first and then open the CPZ. And we go 24 fid. Ooh, that's still 41. Okay, that might be a lot, but okay, RAM a touch up, Encore touch up. Yeah, let's let it run through. No, it really struggles there. Okay, we'll just go 4 gigahertz flat. Okay, sub is up. That's it. I officially have. So what is it divided by 19.5, right? So 4,000 divided by 19.5 is 205. We'll give it 206, just to make sure it's gonna be 4,000. Sub is up. Cool. I have no idea if it's good or bad, but that's it. What the hell? Oh, I keep making this mistake. Okay, let's open Benchmade first. Stop the count, right? OCN. Team Cup 2025 winners. Come on, initialize your damn driver. Okay, Pi Prime. Now we open 10 stat. P state is gonna be 13 fid. Just over 4,000. Encore is good. RAM is, well, I wouldn't exactly say good, but you know, it's the setting that we're expecting. Is that really an 18-minute run? I thought I had. What were my previous runs with 20,000 seconds? What's that in minutes? 20. Was it 2,000 or 20,000 seconds? 2,000 seconds. 2,000. My worst run. My first run was 2,300, 2,350. 2,350 divided by 60 is 39 minutes. Okay, so I'm now at 18 minutes. So the scaling is actually not linear. Going from 1,000 megahertz to 3,500 or whatever is only sort of roughly half the score. what's our first loop? I'm gonna keep calling it loop even though it's called a step, right? What's our first step gonna be? So the last time we had a step, it was a 194 flat. Now we have a little bit better RAM and a little bit better encore and core. So my timer, hopefully it's not hung. No, it's not. My timer is at 2 minutes. So 2 minutes 30 could be potentially be breaking the 3 minutes. 3 minutes is 180 seconds. Anyone watching the poker? Actually, this is random, but so we've got the first 180, just over the 3 minutes for the first loop. Okay, I'm greedy now. I'm gonna stop it, and what I'm gonna try is I'm gonna try just to tighten to forecast. That should be possible, right? So yeah, the first woman at the final table of World Series of Poker main event, which is the biggest tournament of the year since 1995, so we're in 30 years. And then also, where's the picture of? Oh, here's the finalists. I don't even want to watch the video necessarily. I just want that preview picture was actually better than. So, second from the left, Michael Mizrachi, aka the Grinder, absolute legendary poker player. He won the so-called Poker Players, the PPC, the Poker Players Championship this year, which is kind of like a harder version of the main event in a lot of ways. Well, fewer participants, but just like crazy good players. The double is on, which just nobody is like. That's, and he still has to get through 8 other players, but like the fact that the double is even a possibility, like, is just insane. Okay, let's see if it posts this. So this is cast 4. Do it, cast 4. Yes, 26 is a good sign. It hardly ever hangs on 26. It usually posts through that. Now 50 is a postcode you usually don't see on this generation because RAM training is so quick, but with the 4-6 in the system, it does actually hold on 50 for a little bit. That's not necessarily a sign whatsoever of it failing to train. That's just crazy. Like getting through like 100 plus of the world's best pro players and winning it, and now potentially getting through 8,000 or whatever. The odds. What are the odds? Incalculable. I should check whether it actually. Sometimes the gigabyte boards are a bit funky, like they let you set a cast setting and they just ignore it. Okay, let's wait for Benchmade to fully come up. Then let's open a CPZ and then double check the timings. I think there's a mem set for this platform as well, which I should definitely look at. Okay, but it didn't bring in the middle timings. I just hoped it would auto bring in the middle timings. Okay, let's do it properly. Let's do flat 444, and then that should be sub 3 minutes first loop for sure. Okay, save it. Oh. to make a mistake. Let's actually look at my sub. Okay, TRCD, RAS to CAS, RC, RAS to CAS delay. That's definitely one of the middle timings. TRP is the other middle timing. See how, like, I was about to set this to 4, which is obviously bullshit. The order is wrong. Like, this is first timing, this is third timing, this is second timing. Yeah, confusing. Anyway, let's do it. Come on, give me 26. Yes, 25, 26. Now if 34, whatever, 50. Short halt on 50, then it goes 52, 75. If it hangs on 75, that's trouble. But then if it's 7F, 96 FF, then you're good. Yeah. Let's do it. This is gonna be a decent. This bench likes low latency on the RAM, so this should be a decent gain. Okay, let's just have a clean launch of Benchmate first, and then we open the other utilities. So it's going to be 1 degree Celsius tomorrow morning. I'm not looking forward to it. My house is uninsulated with single glazed windows, no central heating. Yay, fun. Come on, bench hate. Make me hate you less, which is probably impossible, but you know, you can try. K10 stat, CPZ, set our P states. Boom shakalaka, sweet. 4 flats. I love me some 4 flat. $34 Celsius. Yeah, Illinois gets warm in the summer. I remember. I think I've been to Chicago once in the summer. Usually more like Easter time, that kind of thing. I want to go back. I want to go to a Bulls game. Well, I don't want to support the ownership. That's the problem. I'm a massive Bulls fan, but I fucking hate the ownership. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword. It's like I like the team, but I don't want to give any money to the billionaire owners, which are even worse billionaire owners than the usual billionaire owners of American sports teams. And yeah, what's going to be the second sub of the Team Cup? Now I'm kind of curious. Like, is no one else benching yet? Come on, guys. It's only 62 days left. Did Benchmate actually correctly? Shit, it didn't correctly. Oof. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to log in and quickly edit that because good that I sort of remember that. So the tri-cores and to some degree the dual cores as well are just notorious for being misidentified by Benchmate. Yeah, see, it's not. I don't even think there is such a thing as a non-black edition tri-core. I haven't come across one. Yeah, that's better. That is better. Oh, look at that beautiful rig. Look at it. Sweet. I get globals for that. Who is slower? What the fuck? How did these people manage to? How did ye manage to be slower than me? On Intel, no less. Oh no, this is like some sort of weird laptop. Okay, ye gets a pass, but how did Retro Mayday manage to be slower than me? Oh, also on Hika. Well, that explains everything. then what's the RAM config? Now I'm curious. Oh, it's like, hold on, super loose, I guess, and really low core. Okay. Who am I close to? Well, what was my last run? So my last run was 1051. So that's 17 minutes, 17 and a half minutes. Oh, that's what I just... Oh no, I'm still working on a better run. Okay. So I'd be sort of just barely pipping Exa. What's Exa up to? It's Wolfdale. Wolfdale at 3 gigahertz though. That's, yeah. Okay, so we have a 171 step 1. So officially under the 3 minutes now. So that was fast. So it's 20 seconds because of just latency. Okay. $171. So that's pretty linear, right? So 10 times, but then that makes no sense. How many steps are there? Because 10 times that would be slower again. Are there only... Is the save really fast or something? Because it's 9 steps plus the save. No, not really. So I'm confused. It's just not adding up for me. So okay, maybe I just look at my own, and then that makes sense. Let's look at my own score. Okay, so that's X. 200 for the first, then it doubles. Oh, and then it speeds up. I never noticed that. So the first two are linear, and then it just speeds up and up and up and up. So step 2 is a full 200 seconds, but by step 7 it's only a 30-second step. So we're like 30 seconds faster than what I've subbed. So that'll knock 30 seconds off each of the first 2 steps. So then you're talking below 1,000 seconds. But then the other steps will be faster too. So it'll be like, so it's 30 of 200 is 3/20ths. So that's 15%. What's 15% of 1,051? I'm not doing that in my head. So we're expecting about 890, which, what is that in minutes? So much math. For 15 minutes. So we're talking like 15 minutes. So where would that... Maybe I'll end up with globals the way things are going. No, see, we'd just be scraping down below. Martin White, and what's the at? See, that's just a better... It's just simply a better Wolfdale run. Everything's a Wolfdale run. Yeah, everything's just Wolfdale, eh? Any rig pick for inspiration for the sticks? Corsair XMS, that doesn't really mean anything. Pretty heatsink. I was still looking through stages. So we talked about this, and then there's Geekbench memory multi-core, no APUs. I thought this was AMD only though. And I thought it was clock limited. Hold on, what's this? What's this stage all about now? GR3 would be 2011 again, right? Yeah, 2011, and then 4900K on a DDR4 board, and then just Ultra. That's a super like. There's a lot of 2011 stages this year. Usually there's none. Not sure to what degree I like that. Okay, third loop is out. It is currently I have to look. So we're 83 seconds up already at this point. That's nice. Still no one subbed. What are people doing? Oh, yeah, let me look at instructions. I'm curious. So, 720 Black Edition. Oh, wrong rig. Copy link. Okay. So that's what I'm currently running now. Let's compare that to 1100T. MMX3 now, SSD all the way up to 4A, X68 obviously, and then AMD. It's identical. Oh, cache. What about cache? Oh, still 6. Yeah, but the thing is, it might all come down to CPU Northbridge. So if your sticks are really bad anyway, this is really interesting because what you'd really want to do is full pot in order to maximize the CPU Northbridge. Ordinarily, in clock limited stages, that's a double-edged sword because you also want good RAM. But given that the IMC is likely to be so much better than what the sticks can support, like, let's say at ambient the IMC is twice as good as the sticks are. If then you go full pot and you're only 1.5 times as good as the sticks are, it doesn't really matter. You can still run whatever you want to run. So you full pot for the CPU Northbridge, and your IPC should be the same all the way through from any dual core C2 stepping all the way through to Thuban. But you would essentially, if you're really try-harding this stage, what you'd have to do is bin for maximum CPU Northbridge on a DDR3 chip on a DDR2 board. I wonder what if the only criterion was CPU Northbridge. If like the bench was max CPU Northbridge, would 940 Black Edition be best? Because it's a native DDR2 chip on a DDR2 board. And then I'm also not sure what the CPU Northbridge voltage support is even like on this board, on the different revisions of chips. So if only I could get my sticks to consistently post on the Gigabyte board, because I feel like it could turn into like almost like a board binning type challenge. I wonder, because the clocks on DDR2 for CPU Northbridge are always lower than DDR3. Like DDR3 is like 5G plus, DDR2 is like 4.5 or something, like max. Even though like is that just like CPU Northbridge is basically a bus between a certain component on the motherboard and another component on the chip. You would think that that component on the chip is the same for DDR2 and DDR3, but maybe it isn't. But certainly the component on the motherboard switches up. So is it like if you have a chip that is known to do like 5.2 on DDR3 board, when you then drop it into a DDR2 board and it only does 4.4, is that the fault of the board, or is it just like the fault of the standard, like the protocol itself? I don't. But then, how much scaling is there even? This is soup. Like, to actually bench this, if this was an individual comp with like a $50,000 cash prize, people would be binning sticks, boards, chips. Yeah, it'd be pretty crazy. All that to say, 900. So let's just quickly go 909 divided by 60, 15 minutes. Okay. I did kind of want to go a little bit better than that, but 15 minutes flat, more or less, which puts me. No, it's 15.1 minutes. Hold on. 15 minutes and 9 seconds. Yeah, so I've beaten Maraccio, but I'm below Martin White. Can I just sneakily try to get past Martin White? I mean, no, I don't think the scaling is actually there. With what I currently have in the rig, I actually think that's not really realistic. So let me just save this score. Okay, let's see how much I can set FSB before everything just falls apart. Actually, I should Kate 10 stat down 1. Okay, and now that gives me the freedom to blast FSB in theory. Where's the set? Here. Let's do like 40-50. Yeah, close enough. So that gives a little bit more of everything. That would break the 900 if it were to finish. Yeah, let's do that as like a final run if it finishes. If not, it's the end of the stream. I made it past the 1.5 hour mark at least. Yeah, okay, so good bases. I'll definitely image this drive, and there's just, I don't know where to go with this. Like, is the board holding me back? I mean, would the board be optimal if I were able to flash the right bias on it, or am I just totally backing up the wrong tree? And what I should really be checking is how to sanely run 8 gigabytes on the 8 gigabytes on the gigabyte board. That's probably what I should be investigating. I feel like that board would, the memory tuning on this board is definitely better, but like I just wonder how relevant that is given how limiting running 8 gigs is. Yeah, I need to, on the same setup, I need to definitely try the two 4 gig sticks. That would be totally incomprehensible and inexcusable if I were not to try that, given how many years I've had those sticks without any use for them, and now I have a use for them, and I'm not actually running them right now. So that definitely has to be tried. But then it's like, so what would this? So it's 15-minute run on ambient. I can give it 1 more gigahertz on the core. So you would still not be below 10 minutes, I don't think. So you're talking a 10-minute full pot run that's clock limited. For sticking it. Nightmare fuel. Absolute nightmare fuel. Yeah, what does everyone in chat think? Oh, doing physics. But what team are you even on on Hyrobot? Come join OCN. Extreme Systems. Okay. Uncompetitive in Team Cup then. Oh man, that's a bigger jump than I expected. So that was like 909 was the last run. So now this is like 4.05G. More encore. And that's gone from 171 to 167.688. Okay, 4 seconds, and we want to break the 900. No, it's good to say, like, realistically, I mean, maybe the 1066 strap is just broken or whatever, but like, I'll have to look into that. But given how this bench likes low latency above all else, I feel like whatever I can get out of this at 444 or even 433, I don't know, whatever is possible there, at the 800 strap with the current stick config, and then just swap it out for the 4 gig sticks. Interesting stuff. I hope I'm running the right rig for this. I mean, it was the only AMD DDR2 platform, right? AM2 Plus, essentially, in terms of desktop at least. Make Matt run modern. I don't think he's running anything in this stage as far as I'm aware. Misk, let's see. Yeah, he just left it blank in the spreadsheet. Well, that's a bit rude. Still no comp subs. I'm bitterly disappointed. Obviously, other people are just not as enthused as I am. Yeah, well, I don't want to. Well, I don't care if I jinx it now. I'm glad the streaming rig is held up. It's a good first step. What will be the next stream? I have so much LN2 sitting around. I feel like I need to do an LN2 stream, but it does feel like a lot of hassle. Yeah, I don't know. What do I want to stream? Certainly something Team Cup related. Let me find something to do. Eat second breakfast, of course. The best meal of the day. X570. So yeah, I'm waiting for my M.2. I should pull up my kit.co since it's been updated. Yeah, my cameras. Why is it scrolling so much? I don't understand. Like, see how it's like scrolling so much in one go? Anyway, my cameras, my Laowa lenses, my microphone, my somewhat new audio interface, my somewhat new Stream Deck, and here we go, Magewell Eco Capture Dual. That's what's on the way, and I'll be running that in conjunction with the Deck Link. And then maybe I want to get eventually I want to get an enclosure and put my remaining PCIe capture cards in a USB, USB-C enclosure. And then I would, in terms of PCIe capture cards, I would have 11 of them, or inputs, 11 inputs, 4 capture cards, but 11 inputs across them. Maybe I sell the Magewell and get another quad input and put two quad inputs in an enclosure. Then I'd have 14 capture cards. And then I've still got my J Creates that I used in Taiwan, which are super solid as USB capture cards. That's another 8 inputs. 22 inputs without even trying. I have other capture cards too, but those are just the good ones. Yeah. Thunder, I've got USB 40 gigabits. Like, that's all you really need. These cards are very low throughput actually. These are cool speakers actually. I'd recommend them. I mean, I don't really use them on stream, but they're like hyper integrated, kind of like Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, Ethernet. But there is no difference. Like, you're making a distinction without a difference. Like, Thunderbolt 4 is like essentially like, I don't know, is it a superset or a subset of USB 4? Like, who gives a shit? It's the same physical connector. and like broadly speaking the same bandwidth. I mean, the thing about USB 4 is that it can be like 20 gigabits or whatever, whereas Thunderbolt 4, you know, guarantees whatever it is, 40 gigs or 80 gigs. But like that's the only real difference. Yeah, these speakers are good. They're like streaming, like they have their own little remote control. You can stream directly to them from your phone. You can control them with an app on your phone. They've got like a DAC in them and obviously amplifier. I'm happy with them compared to my previous speakers, which are like just dumb speakers driven by XLR, so active speakers. This is cut down a little bit on the wiring and stuff. The passive speaker doesn't have any power input on its own at all. It just gets power delivery via USB-C, not Thunderbolt. Oh, here comes the big wall of text about the differences between Thunderbolt and USB 4. Docking. Look up docking on Urban Dictionary. That's what I think about docking. Here's all my arms. I'm still due to get a slightly better like video light and maybe diffuse it more and stuff. Here's my famous Ulanzi clamp that I used in at Computex that held up a camera for like 3 days straight. Yeah, I'd be keen to get another Unimachine quad input. It's so cheap for a quad input. Is the LMAO in relation to the Urban Dictionary entry? Oh, hold on, my little thing is misaligned. Not that it necessarily matters. There we go. Now you can sort of kind of see the runs. Okay, so step 4. Let's go back to the actual benching. Step 4 is a 634. 634. So where's the one that I have subbed? Keep getting distracted. Step 5 is a 736. So a minute and 40 seconds essentially already made up from the 17 minutes. So actually I'm not exactly sure this is going to be. It'll be in the 15 minutes, but I think it'll be in the higher 15 minutes. I think the run has kind of slowed down a bit. When I was extrapolating earlier, I don't think that was like the correct way of predicting the run. Not to worry. I mean, even just to be sort of ever so slightly kind of in the mix with Wolfdale, considering the better IMC over there and the better IPC and the better clocks and just the better everything, that's not bad. Step 6 is a 797. So that's now, yeah, that's still not 2 minutes. Step 7 is an 823. Oh no, I'm making the mistake of thinking 100 seconds is a minute, which is obviously bullshit. Step 9 is 838. Yeah, so 160. So it's 2 minutes and 40 faster now. So it's actually into the 14-minute range. That's cool. Save should only be like 60 seconds. My timer is at 14, 27, 28. So it should pop any minute now, any second now. Alright, well, like within the next 15 seconds, let's say. Come on. Give me a 14XX, please. Yes! So 900 is a 15-minute run. So we're at like 1447 point whatever, which equates to, ooh, how close are we to Martin White? I might have to do another run. Oh, he's only 2 seconds ahead. Damn it. Damn it. And then there's a massive gap. Okay, we got to catch Martin White now. This is bonus coverage. I'm motivated to catch this guy. Okay. How do we do that though? I'm saying all these things, but I don't actually know what I can raise anymore, really. Hold on. What can I raise? I think we were kind of running out of Encore, so I'll have to drop Encore 1 and then raise RAM. That's probably how it would go. Oh, BCLK is pretty low. I'll show you now. I'll just save my... Oh, I need to remember to go to advanced mode. So there's this really hidden advanced mode. F9. So now I'm in advanced mode. It looks the same, but there's like a few tiny little submenus up here, like CPU feature and stuff. See this? This CPU at Northbridge vid is actually like the voltage you're setting in hex. It's fucking like just really weird. Let's see if the downcore feature works. Well, maybe not the right. And now I've got stepping axes and stuff. So yeah, let's go down 1 on the Northbridge. Yeah, okay, let's see how that goes. And then we'd keep the CPU on 18x, and we'll try and get to like 4060 or whatever we were at previously on 18x, and then see where the RAM is at that. 4060 divided by 18 is 225. So we're gonna need 225 B clock, which is fine. We should be able to just raise that up in OS pretty easily. This is DDR2 on an Win7 IDE install after all. It's not just limited to like 3 B clock or whatever. Okay, let's do that straight away actually. Just in case there's any hangs. Let's do it. Is it gonna open? Oh no, is my set FSB install corrupted? That'd be unfortunate. Yeah, it is. That's really annoying. Let's see if my USB gets read. Oh, just took forever to open. Okay, fuck you too. All right. So we wanted, what was it? 225. Might be pretty high on the RAM, but we'll see. Okay, we can. Maybe we do need to post a little bit higher. And maybe just shave like 20 megahertz off the core and still hope that the RAM... Maybe the on-core ended up being too high. Let's post like 215. Yeah, I wasn't keeping an eye on the on-core. Maybe it does need to be dropped one more multi. Okay, how long is it gonna take this time for set FSB to open up? Is there any way I can speed it up? I don't know. Okay, for some reason that was quicker. I don't exactly know why, but I won't complain. Now CPU Z is going to be the slow part. Come on. Okay, Encore should be alright actually. Yeah, it's only raising up very slowly. Yeah, there's some sort of weird transition there where it reaches 300. If I just did a run at 299 just to see what it's like. Yeah, 299. And I'll go 1818 on the timings as well if I can. Let's do another save. I mean, I can probably go closer, but like just to to start to bring in those primary, like not the first three primaries, but the ones in between those and the casts, because it was auditing 1824, which is super loose. What you really want, like on just two DIMMs, like when you're actually benching, not this weirdness that we're doing here, you would want like 918 or 915, but we'll settle for 1818 as an improvement upon 1824. I see how quickly set FSB comes to life. Not at all. It's got to be some weird servers or something that is making this even slower than usual. Come on, CPZ. Okay. Okay, so we'll go 299 and no higher. So the memory did train what we asked it to train, so that's good. Oh no, okay. Okay, let's go up one on the CPU North bridge again. Hold on. Let's try. What's 4050 divided by 18.5? So if you go half a multi up, we only need 219 here, and we should be able to do one higher here. Oh, I even have half multis in BIOS. That's cool, but I'll raise the last half multi in OS. Just I don't want to have any boot failures. Yeah. Okay. So I was trying for something really nice, but actually I can go for a halfway house of. I believe the last run might have been at 19 multi, and I was trying to go 18 multi with higher B clock and therefore also higher mem clock. But if I can just go in between, like slightly raise mem clock, slightly raise B clock, and same CPU clocks, that'll be good enough maybe. Oof. No, okay. At that point, it could be anything now. See, I don't have CPU North Bridge voltage control. Yeah, okay. So I'll just to make it easier, I'm aiming for 219, but I'll actually boot to 210, let's say. I mean, it almost said 225. So unless there really is a CPU North Bridge issue now, memory should be super happy at 219. Core never an issue because I'm setting the same core I just passed. It's just because the North Bridge multis are you've got 200 B clock stock. 200 is the stock B clock, and CPU North Bridge only has full multi, so you can kind of end up in a bit of a multi-hole. Well, not that you just can. It pretty much happens every single bench session. It's just a question of how big of a multi-hole it is. Let's see. Let's see where we're at. Okay. Oh, okay. So Encore might be a little bit high, but should be okay. You don't miss the North Bridge, but you still have cache, right? Like you still have Encore frequency now. It's kind of the same thing. Okay, get FSB, reopen CPZ, hope and pray. No, we can set 219. Ooh, no. Okay. No, we need. Yeah, we need. I think that's a Northbridge thing. I mean, I could probably dial in the. It's in hex though. Like, how do you? How do you set a voltage in hex? Okay, let me whip out my hex converter. So 7F. Let's just 7F is 127. So that's man. I don't want to kill the chip. 127. What would that correlate with? So it's obviously. Ugh. Yeah, no, I'll just have to go without. Just for now. We'll go 11 here, and then we should still be able to just. We should actually be able to just do 219 like this, and then literally just add the half a multi. '87, '94, '96, FF. Yeah, so it was Northbridge. Okay, no bluey on boot is always good. Yeah, that's what I'm not sure about, because it's a what is it? It's an 8-bit number. So in hex that's 2 digits, right? So it's 7F is the max you can set, which in decimal that converts into 127. I don't know what that would mean in terms of voltage. Like, it's certainly not 1.27. Like, it's like, it means like some random thing. You know, as soon as you know, if it, I don't think it's even displaying the stock. If we knew what the hex for the stock voltage was, we could just look up what the stock voltage is, and then you get the range. It's like, oh, stock voltage is 10 and max voltage is 7F. That would mean, you know, you may be able to work shit out, but because we don't have any of that, I'll have to like ask infrared or someone. Okay, 1x. Oh, it won't give the half mult anymore. So what was I trying to set there? I was trying to set 110 extra. Yeah, I was just slightly too high. Yeah. I mean, typically in these kind of scenarios, the max you can set is 1.55. Like, that's just a standard value. I don't trust it. And I don't think the CPU Northbridge scaling is so amazing anyway that it's sort of worth totally min-maxing CPU Northbridge. So it wasn't able to set that. Maybe if I set it just on the second core. Is this gonna open or what? Yeah. Okay, now I have 2 instances of K10 stat. Nice. It failed. Okay. Oh, I didn't adjust for the... Yeah, okay. I understand now. I understand now. I didn't adjust for the new B clock, so actually the multi I had was way too high. So we wanted 18.5, which actually be kind of easy. So 1050. Let's just quickly, now that we're finally here. Oh, super on the edge. Super on the edge. I might give it another 25 millivolts on the core. And I might not fuck around with screenshots while I have the clock set. See, the reboot and the post and all that is pretty quick. What kills me is like trying to open apps in the OS. That's super slow. PWM. Yeah, 25 more. Update successful. That's what we like to hear. Okay, let's actually even just launch Benchmate, have all of that ready, and just tick up the multi by a half, close everything, and see how we go. Yeah, why can't you just pre-initialize the driver? It's the same driver every time anyway. What are you doing? Reinitializing the driver every boot. How wasteful. Okay. Right about now would be nice. Okay. Thread 1. Arrange my window. Minimize this. Open CPU-Z. Go to the P states. Go to the right core. Apply. Beautiful. Let's go. It's not hanging, is it? Okay. I wonder if we just ban Benchmate. I think that would help. That would solve all our problems. It's still running. Like, it's so... PyPrime is so unbelievably light. But then, like, opening a screenshot might crash your rig. It's kind of funny. Okay, I'm very curious to see how... I haven't really done anything. Like, maybe just the memory's up a tiny bit, but I have gone from 1818 to... Sorry, 1824 to 1818. That might do stuff. Make a physical pro hot switch for slow mode. Not today. Maybe next time. Okay, I don't think I'll let... I mean, what I'm really looking for is just a better loop 1 than Martin White. And then I might end the stream because it's supposed to be... It's like 11:30 p.m. now. It was supposed to be a quick stream and now it's like approaching 2.5 hours. So let's have a look at his first loop-de-loop 160 as opposed to, what did I have? 167. Was I really that far behind? So I have better later loops, it seems like. Okay, interesting. It should pop out any minute now, because we're in the 160s. Oh, it's slow. It's either slow or crashed. This is, yeah. It's either slow or crashed. Yep. It's crashed. It's like soft crashed. Yeah. I'm glad I had the timer running. Okay. That'll have to do it for today. That was fun. That was more productive than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, not super keen on just the way this camera is looking. I'll have to spend some time on that before the next stream. But yeah, maybe LN2. Maybe LN2 next stream. Let's see. I'm so tired. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. Bye bye.